No, if you make $38,000, you need to be handy. You need to know how to hang a light bulb and put a fan up and put on a light switch. If you make $38,000 a year, you better cut the grass. You better wash dishes, cook food, wash clothes, fold. I mean, everything. Like if you literally, it has to back. We talked about this. Remember, again, if you're an electrician, you add value to your household by knowing how to do all the electrical stuff. So your 38 is now, I don't know, 72. I don't know, you know, like you.
I ain't double. That's a stretch.
Well, no, because that's
other value.
Because you know, wait, hold on.
That's a hustle. Because you got your job and you got your side gigs. No, that's a hustle.
But that's what women need to understand too. If you only make 38,000, 50,000, you better cook, you better clean, you better wash my clothes, you better fold them and iron them and hang them up. No, because that is your value. That's your tangible value. Now you're 50,000.
Now she's good in bed.
Even
if she's good in bed, listen, it's 2022. There's a lot of box out here. You know what I'm saying? And it's getting easier and easier by the years to get it. If you make $50,000 as a woman, you better come correct and do your due diligence in that household the same way as a man who makes $50,000 better know how to be handy. He better know how to do what, you know what I'm saying?
No, I think that's different.
No, it's not.
What is a life skill? If you're an adult, you should be able to wash your clothes. If you're an adult, you should be able to feed yourself. If you're an adult, you should be able to pay a fucking bill. Like there's things like life skills. Being handy is a plus. It's not a life skill that you need to have to survive.
But then you know that
I can cook, clean, everything, but I don't know how to hang a fucking TV.
So
is that gonna affect my life in any way? No, but I will be fine.
But you know what happens? Now let's be realistic. Now you have a man and a woman. Now let's just say they both making the same amount of money, right? Mm-hmm. 38,000.
Let's say 50.
Okay, 50. He makes 50, you make 50. Mm-hmm. All you do is cook and clean. This is how we get back to the original question. I'm now fixing everything in this house. My value is saving us money. So now my value, you said, from 38 might be worth 72. So if we take that same ratio, my 50 is now worth 100. So now when I make that 100, and now you tell me you working too, you don't want to cook because you tired. It's like, nah, sweetheart. Because technically,
I agree.
We make the same, but we're not worth the same in this relationship.
Well, no, you are worth the same but you have to be able to do it. You have to, like, she has to hold up her end of the domestic whatever.
Agreed.
You got to hold up your end of your handy shit. Everybody has a role to play. What? Oh, sorry. Everybody has a role to play, and everybody needs to be willing to play that role. Perfect example. In my house, I do the majority of the cooking and cleaning. You know why? Because Shut up.
Well, why is it bad, though? This is why.
No, because I know why you dabbing me up. I do most of it. You know why? Because I'm better at it. I'm efficient at it. And yeah, no one's going to come in my house and be like, oh, they got a dirty-ass house. No. You're going to come home and shit is going to be proper and perfect. Ain't nobody going to ever come in our household and be like, ugh, your wife keep a dirty-ass house.
Right.
Never.
But you know what?
Sorry.
I'm not gonna lie to you.
It needs to
come. No shade to Erin, but if I was Erin's husband, I ain't cleaning shit. Okay? Like shout out to Darren. That's my guy. He's a cool guy. If I was Darren, I ain't cleaning shit in this house. You hear me? No.
Why?
Because, nigga, I get that bag. You hear me?
You get a bag, too.
It's cool. It's cool you get the bag. I ain't saying that you don't, but my bag goes to here. my bag goes to here.
You need life skills. You need fundamentals. And I think that's the biggest thing that's been happening in relationships that is creating so much.
That people don't have life skills?
Yeah, we lost it because our whole life
is on the internet.
Evaluations went on the internet.
Yeah.
Like that's the That's what
okay.
We value. Everybody is getting their appraisal from the internet.
Okay, we've complained enough. What is the solution?
The solution is like get some life skills, my opinion.
So I think that is so that's the solution is
laps on these girls.
The solution is master the fundamentals. So in order to get to that solution, there has to be a complete mind change in how parents are raising their kids. You can't teach your son, where you can go out and play sports and you can go out and do this and that, but baby girl, you got to make sure you know how to cook. You got to make sure you know how to clean X, Y, and Z. Like, you have to raise these kids the exact same. And the things that no one's doing that. Even though would you raise your son and your daughter the exact same?
Yes, and I do.
In today's day?
Yes, and I do.
I'm not gonna lie. My kids really know. They cook. They could cook. Like if my 14-year-old cook and my 11-year-old.
I've seen
cook
that.
food that will be like, dang, this isn't good.
But that's not what I'm saying, Alan. What I'm saying, if you had girls in your house.
I don't.
Right.
Woman in my house.
No. If you had but see, the thing is that you're not raising your
My
wife.
daughter is tougher than my stepson.
It has nothing to do with tough.
Because the way she's being raised, I think this, Erin, I'm not trying to trump what you're saying. I think that's an old school mentality. I think people, in order to really have that reprogramming, is that people need to stop, in the words of Alan, don't drink the Kool-Aid. You know what I'm saying? It's not the parents. I think kids turn 18, 19, and then they see Rico, and they see Rico walking on a yacht with 5-6 women, and he goes, it's okay to have 5-6 women. Let me go do what is necessary to get that. So now that kid, he can't figure out how to get the money, so he starts scamming.
No,
listen to what I'm saying. Same thing with the girl. There's girls that see other girls, right, with the top guys and all that, and they're like, well, how did she get him? She's naked on Instagram. Let me get naked on Instagram. And people are literally following others' footsteps to try to emulate their results. And that's what's happening. It ain't them kids. It's just the simple fact that the results and the desire is overriding people's moral compass of their character.
You know what this goes back to? At home.
Core values.
Core values. Like, you know who told me that I need to start saving to get a house? My parents. You know who told me that I should go to college, pick a career that aligned with my...
What if you don't...
But just listen. You literally just said it, Alan.
What if you don't live in a good home?
I'm talking about Aaron Campbell, right? So we're saying, go along the lines of what you just said.
Kids.
Yeah, like...
If we're talking about we're giving game.
Exactly.
Right.
Like, it starts at home. I don't care what nobody says. And even if you aren't in a great home, it starts with mentorship, somebody, in your life who can give you game, who can show you how to finesse, who can give you nuggets to help you figure life out. Some people don't know, I need to learn how to cook to survive as an adult.
Watch 8 at the table.
But that's my point.
Not the plug.
The mentor, the thing is, and this is the thing, and I agree, I get what you're saying, but what I'm also trying to make sure people understand is that this world is different, and the game that Erin has said, your mentors are not good mentors. People are having people that they're looking up.
No, I said I said your parents first.
But
no.
It's a mentorship. In a sense.
Mentorship.
Okay, yeah, you're right.
Now,
Of a mentorship.
It is, you're right.
like they're not having good mentors, and it's coming from outside the house and inside the house, and the influence is crazy outside the house because 9 times out of 10, whatever you're accustomed to is as less valuable to you. You know what I'm saying? So like if I'm in this house, this is a 3-bedroom house, and really having a 3-bedroom home is actually considered, a luxury. But I'm used to a 3-bedroom home. It's no longer a luxury to me. And now I'm watching this guy risk his life scamming and doing Ponzi schemes, and he has a 12-bedroom home estate. Now he's more impactful than my parents. And that's what people are not understanding. We're trying, and that's why I'm not trying to get too passionate, but people are trying to put so much blame on the parents, and I'm like, no, listen, the world has now been able to be viewed in tenfold from now more than ever. I don't care what generation you are. And if I can now see everything that I never had and feel like I lived there because I watched them do their whole things, their routines on a day-to-day basis, that person is more impactful than my mom and my dad is. And it will always be. It does not matter. And it's important to understand as a parent, and I'm a new parent, it's important to understand to tell your children, only believe half of what you see. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Because that's what the problem is. People are believing all of what
everything
they see. And they're running away from their morals. They're running away from their character.
To circle back, you're teaching that.
Yeah, but
that's a core value.
But I'm not a parent.
But you are a parent.
Well, I'm talking about to the world.
No, but
I'm not their parent.
But that's
So what I'm saying is there's the mentors like myself that are the outliers that are trying to correct those people.
You're right. I
Look,
agree with you,
you know what I'm
but
saying?
it's you teaching it. Like,
but-
you might say it in a different language for this generation or whatever, but what we're saying is that core value that you're teaching so that your child survives in the world of tomorrow is a core value.
Yeah.
So when she is 15, she's not influenced by what she sees on social media. She's like,
She gonna already know his fate.
she's gonna be like,
Where did she learn it from? Social media.
she learned it.
I'm social media too. You're missing what I'm saying.
But I agree.
She's learning it from social media.
He's learning it, but you're still saying what I'm saying. You're taking what you know. It doesn't matter where you got it. I understand that. 20 years from now, it could come from wherever. You are the responsible party while she's a child to teach her core values to survive in tomorrow's world. I know you're getting it from social media, but you're teaching her.
For the women out there, I want to just segue this because this is ties perfectly. Learn, the young ladies you should learn from the older ladies, right? Because the older vixens that didn't get it start hating on a new breed.
All the time.
They start hating on them.
Because they still want to be in the game.
They still want to be in the game because you know what happens? They never learned fundamental values. And this is the only game that they can play. And so that since this is the only game that they can play, they now have the new younger women coming in and controlling the game and saying, hey, you no longer fit on this market. And if you do, your price that was here is now over there. And I'm the price over here.
But you know, the point of that is that everyone needs to understand at some point you're going to age out. Remember, I kept saying that when the sugar baby girl was here. You're going to age out.
She said she was going to go to a 90-year-old man.
I mean, whatever.
Oh, man.
But I'm just saying,
Your old girl.
at the end of the day, you're going to age out. It's just like the foster.
Yeah, I'm going to need like a
You're
20.
going to age out. And you have to understand that, yeah, you're up now. You're up now, yeah. But you got to look at who's up next. That's what's really important.
Who's on your
And if you cannot, and if you're being honest with yourself, and you know if you cannot rightfully compete with who is up next, you got to figure some shit out. Because you about to age out the system. Not what you gonna do.
And that's the craziest thing because, here's the thing. Women this is free game for you ladies. I promise you. When we talk about vixens,
What you looking at me for?
not because you're my homie, and you can attest to this, right? The younger vixens, right? You gotta learn from the older vixens. You know why the older vixens hate? Is because they don't possess any skills. So you know how you
Can't
never become that? As you're a younger vixen, you learn your fundamental skills. So when you are an older vixen, you already are ahead of the younger vixens because the younger vixens, they can't actually cater to a man. They don't even know how to treat a man. They're young women. So a man might like them, right? They might like how they look, but they're never going to like how they make them feel. And anybody in this world always remembers how you make them feel. So if you are a younger woman, you look at the older ones that are hating and be like, okay, cool. What did she do or what did she not do? And now let me learn what that is. So then that way, when I get to that age, I'm going to keep myself available on the market as a complete woman rather than a young woman.
I think the point is really just knowing how to pivot. You got to know how to pivot because when you age out, what's next? You got to know how to move around. Just like what's the Brandon Marshall show, the guys they call the show The Pivot. You know what? They had to figure out how do we stay relevant.
These are the cats.
Yeah, no, but the original show, yeah. But they had to learn, like, yeah, we're hot. We made something. We're big shit. But how do we continue that outside of the original platform? You know, you have to be forward thinking. You got to know what your next move is. You know what? And you may have said this before. Everybody's living in the moment.
I did.
And I think older generations, so millennials and Gen X, they were not living in moments. They're always like, well, let me do something now so that I can be okay later. Or like, let me do something, let me save this $10 a day now so that I can have $100 later. But I think right now people truly live in the moment and which is
too
not
much.
always
It's
bad.
too
Yeah,
much.
it's not always a bad thing, but
That's
I think
exaggerated.
no, it's overdone. It's overdone for sure.
Like you doing too much. Like I get it, but if there's a party on Thursday, cool, go pull up. Oh, celebrities is there. Don't be pressed to be like, let me get a picture for the post. No, just
Be
be,
in the moment.
just chill.
Old guy. I'm not even gonna say old guy. Let me retract that. What I despise the most is that guy who's 36 years old, 37 years old, and he was outside. He was a DJ.
Strong.
Look, he was a DJ. He was a promoter. He was a rapper.
He was a producer.
He was a producer. Yep. He was, and then he's telling me all the stories of who he met, and telling me stories about the events that he was at, and I'm like, where are you at right now?
That's all that really matters.
And I'm like, yo, you spent all this time living in those moments and prepared nothing for your future.
Mm-hmm.
And now you telling me people be doubting you. No, you just made bad decisions consistently.
Nick, can I ask a question? And you know, I've always said this. I believe in a teammate, like somebody who, like, we on this shit.
You do say
together.
that. We have a bunch of clips of you.
Yeah, like I really believe in that, and I think that what's important for us to remember is that your teammate ain't gonna always be the best for you, but it's gonna be the best for the team.
Okay.
Like y'all may not always click. Y'all may not always get along. Look at Draymond and old boy the other day. He socked his teammate.
They're good.
But they still on the same team and they still working towards the same goal.
That's called brotherly. That's for all my best
No,
points.
no, I'm saying, no, but I'm saying, but that's the point. Like when you're on a team and you realize your contributions to making the team better, it doesn't matter if we're not always getting along. Right. It doesn't matter if shit is hard. You know why? Because the goal is the team.
Wow, you know, I'm so glad y'all said that. That just made me think about something, and I think that a lot of people today are suffering from. And I think a lot of
team
people
building.
Well, I don't even think it's, well, yes, it is. Team building is a product of it.
Okay.
Right? They're suffering from team building because no one has bigger visions.
So we're going to start our part 2, y'all. We taped earlier and we did some reaction videos. So we're going to keep the party going on these videos. You know, everybody's on social media. Everyone sees these like viral videos. And so since we never really go into detail about these things and like really do reaction videos, that's what we're doing today.
Don't you think that Daddy and I have figured it out? Like you're going to find somebody on your own and then do what? It's going to be a mistake, you know that. Oh my God, you did not use the N word. You know, love doesn't last. You know what the saying is in life? Love makes you blind. Why you want to be blind? We are there to give you the vision.
We've been married for 23 years.
Yes, and look how much happy we are. Look how much happy we are. We don't even say a word to each other. We are so happy.
No, all right, so like the first thing that, I mean, what I'm gathering from that video is that she's basically trying to say, like, why would you want to marry for love? When marrying for love is now the worst thing that you can do because it's the most inconsistent thing. And actually, people marrying for love has had the more failures than they did successes. And the proof is in the pudding. We all know the numbers, right? So she's saying as an example, her and his father have been, you know, it seems to be arranged marriage. And now that since they've been arranged marriage, they've grown to love each other and they've grown to become happy with what they were given. In which I always agree. Ask Alan, I've been saying arranged marriages work best, in my opinion. This is my opinion. And that's because that one thing I realize is people never know what they want. All right. And one of the worst things I've newly concluded is that we can tell people that you can do whatever you want and you can be whatever you want. No, you can't.
It was like, but you can't.
You can't be whatever you want to be, and you can't do whatever you want to do, and you can't choose whoever you want to choose. I'm not saying in the sense that, no, you don't have the ability. I'm saying that it will more likely be a failure than it will be a success. And I agree. Now, with that being said, I feel like back in the day, men and women married for business. In 2022, and I would also say probably within the last 70 years, let's go from like 1950s or so, men have been preconditioned to marry for love, while women have still been trained to marry for business. So men are the only ones marrying for love, and men are usually getting the short end of the stick, in my opinion. And it's because they're coming in with a different perspective, and they're not on the same page as the woman. Now, if men start to marry for business, just as much as women are marrying for business, I think we probably have a lot less divorces. I think that things will last a lot longer because everybody will have a good understanding of what they're going to be contributing to the family, to the legacy, and to each other. But when I'm a guy and I'm supposed to do all these things and jump through all these loopholes and burning hula hoops, right? Because I love you.
Her man.
I love her so much. And then the second I decide that I don't want to retire, you leave me.
And there it is.
Shout out to my boy.
All right. So I
That you and lost you.
no. I actually agree with the majority of what you said. And I've said these exact same things. I don't necessarily agree that marrying for love is the best move because, like in the video, love fades. You're in and out of love. So it's like if you don't love somebody, does that mean you should divorce? But I think you have to look at the bigger picture, like we were saying earlier. Like this is about us. This is about the team. What is best for the team? Because at the end of the day, the team has a creed, the document. We're gonna build. We're gonna leave a legacy. We're gonna do X, Y, and Z, and it's outlined. You know what I mean? So it's like we got to be dedicated to this.
Yeah.
Right. Not necessarily dedicated to making sure we stay in love, because that's gonna come and go. It is what it is. You know.
That's real couple goals.
Right. Exactly.
When you and your partner have a destination that you are going to go as a couple, that's a couple goal. Not displaying your love on Instagram. You know what I'm saying? Not kissing each other and going on trips. That's not a couple goal. That's a fantasy.
Can I ask both of you guys a question?
No, Alan.
I'm with Erin.
No, Alan. What's up? Ask the
What
question.
is love?
Well,
I think. Oh, go
I don't want to go.
ahead. I think the way we look at the general understanding of love is that it's a feeling.
Yep.
But I think in reality, love is more of an action. It's like, you know, because people want you to love them through the good, through the bad, through the bullshit, through the, you know, so feelings won't align with that. Only actions, because actions are intentional. I have to intentionally do something to show you that I love you, even though you just talk crazy to me, even though we got into it last night, you know. So I think that idealistically, love is a feeling, but in reality, I think it's an action. It's what we do.
Yep. And that's, if you think about it, that's what often happens. You know, when we sit back and we have people who have stories, and even myself, I've had stories who ended up dating a woman who endured the most for me. And, you know, it's only because I didn't understand that love was an action. You know, love requires many actions. One of them is strength. Another one is patience. Another one is forgiving. And another one is consistency. Those are 4 actions that need to be displayed whenever you love somebody. And if you're not possessing those actions, then it's just, you know, a word at that point. It's just a fabrication to make me feel or believe whatever ideology of love that I have. Yeah, no.
I can see where that makes sense, because just like anything else, like just like submission. Remember, everybody had a different definition for submission. I could see how.
Not reality. That's called confusion and delusion. And that's the thing, like, we go on and I got to the point where I hate when people try to change etymology for their own ideology, okay? I hate that. what is the core value of these words? Where did these words mean, intend to mean, and the origin of it?
What does Webster's dictionary say it is?
Yeah, and what does the Webster before Webster say it was? Merriam-Webster, whatever, whomever, right? But the thing is, like, when we say what is love, and it's like, because people grow up with these ideas of my definition of love.
Okay.
I need a woman who's gonna be an affectionate woman, because I need a woman who's gonna, do things that I ask her to do, because my love language is acts of service. You understand? And no, you know what love is? Selflessness. Undeniable selflessness. It doesn't matter if I want to do it. It doesn't matter if I possess the ability to do it. I am going to do it for you.